The untold story of IKEA, a 5-year-old boy selling matches door to door, a 17-year-old who built a company with his father's graduation gift, a billionaire who flew economy class. What if I told you that the world's largest furniture company was built by a dyslexic boy from a farm that had no running water? What if I told you that their most iconic product, the one that made them billions, was born from an accident in a parking lot? This is not a story about furniture. This is a story about obsession, about stubbornness, about a boy from a frozen Swedish farm who changed the way the entire world lives. This is the untold story of IKEA. Småland, Sweden. Forget everything you know about Scandinavia. This was rocky. This was not a land of comfort and beautiful design. Harsh, unforgiving. The people of Småland had one rule: make everything last. Waste nothing. Create something from nothing. Into this world, Ingvar Kamprad was born. And from his very first years, it was clear he was different. At 5 years old, he was already selling matches to his neighbors. Not playing, not in school, selling. At 7, he got on his bicycle and rode further to reach more customers. He had figured out something most adults never do: buy in bulk, sell individually, keep the difference. By his teenage years, he was selling fish, Christmas cards, pencils, anything he could turn into profit. Here's the question nobody asks: what makes a 5-year-old think like a businessman? The answer is Småland. He wasn't just entrepreneurial, he was obsessed. Kamprad's father handed him a sum of money, a reward for his grades at school. Remarkable, considering that Ingvar Kamprad was severely dyslexic. He struggled to read. He struggled with numbers. The letters moved on the page. But business made perfect sense. He was 17 years old, and on July 28, 1943, he registered a trading company. He called it IKEA. 4 letters, each one deeply personal. I, Ingvar. K, Kamprad. E, Elmtarid, the family farm. A, Agunarid, the village where he grew up. He literally put his entire identity into 4 letters. The first products had nothing to do with furniture. Pens, wallets, picture frames, nylon stockings, sold by telephone, delivered by milk trucks. Then, in 1948, he added furniture. The response was immediate. Why? Because Kamprad asked a question nobody else was asking. Why is furniture so expensive? People wanted beautiful, affordable furniture, and nobody was giving it to them. By 1951, IKEA had dropped everything else. Furniture was the future, and Kamprad knew it. Here is where the story gets dangerous. By 1955, IKEA had become impossible to ignore, and the established Swedish furniture industry was furious. Kamprad's prices were too low. His customers were their customers, and they had had enough. So they did something extraordinary. They organized a boycott. Every major supplier, every manufacturer, every distributor. The message was clear: stop selling to IKEA. Starve them out. Destroy them. Overnight, Kamprad lost access to almost everything. What do you do when an entire industry tries to destroy you? Most people would have surrendered. Kamprad saw an opportunity. If nobody would sell to him, he would build it himself. He hired his own designers, found suppliers in Poland where costs were dramatically lower, cut out every single middleman. And then, one afternoon, an employee was trying to fit a table into a car. The legs wouldn't fit, so he removed them. Kamprad watched, and in that moment, $1 billion idea was born. If the customer assembles the furniture, IKEA saves on packaging, on shipping, on storage, on labor. The flat pack was born, not from genius, from necessity. And it changed retail forever. Have you ever walked into IKEA for one thing and left with 10? That wasn't an accident. That was by design. Let's talk about what most people never see, because IKEA is not just a furniture store. It is one of the most sophisticated psychological systems ever built. The names first. Every IKEA product has a Scandinavian name. Not a code, not a number, a name. Sofas named after Swedish towns, beds after Norwegian places, rugs after Danish regions. Why? Because Kamprad was dyslexic. He couldn't remember product codes, so he invented a system he could actually use. An accident that made every product feel human, feel personal, feel memorable. Then there's the store itself. Every IKEA on the planet follows the exact same path. One way in, one way out. No shortcuts. You enter, and you are guided through a carefully designed maze. Past the living rooms, the bedrooms, the kitchens, the children's section. You came for a lamp. You leave with 7 things you didn't know you needed. That is not accidental. That is one of the most effective retail manipulation strategies ever designed. And finally, the restaurant. 600 million meals a year. Think about that. Kamprad noticed something simple. Hungry customers leave the store. So he put the food inside. The Swedish meatballs alone. 1 billion portions. Every single year. 1 billion. IKEA is not just a furniture company. It never was. 460 stores, 60 countries, hundreds of billions in value, all built without a single bank loan. Throughout 70 years at the helm of IKEA, Ingvar Kamprad never borrowed a dollar, never issued stock, never took IKEA public. The company grew entirely on its own profits. And yet, despite building one of the most valuable companies in human history, Kamprad lived like the boy from Småland he always was. Economy class, every time. An old Volvo in the driveway. Cheap restaurants, senior discounts. His friends said it wasn't strategy. It wasn't performance. It was simply who he was. A child of a land where nothing was wasted and everything had value. On March 30th, 2026, Ingvar Kamprad would have turned 100 years old. He died in January 2018, 91 years old, in the same Swedish region where he was born. Today, IKEA operates in over 60 countries. Hundreds of millions of people have assembled its furniture, argued over its instructions, lost the Allen key, found it again, laughed about it. The next time you sit on a Sunday afternoon, surrounded by wooden pieces and confusing diagrams, remember the boy who sold matches at 5 years old. He didn't build a furniture company. He built a system that makes you do the work and feel good about it. That's the untold story of IKEA. Every week, we uncover another one. Subscribe. because the next story is already waiting. Every brand has a story they never told you. This was one of them.